Military. And I was what was considered, what was called, some of you may have heard of it before, MFLAC, Military and Family Life Counselors. So we were like part of a mobile treatment team that got dispatched to different military bases. And one of the things that we did a lot of was briefing the program. And so you never knew what you were going to encounter.
They emailed her the presentation,
Mhm.
put her on a flash drive.
Either one, I can just go with this or.
Okay, whatever you prefer.
That's fine. So yeah, I'm used to having to do something on the fly, so that's okay. So first of all, thank you so very much for giving me a little bit of your time to brief our program. I am Kimberly Dowdell, a licensed professional counselor working with Access Family Services. And Access Family Services is an organization that is headquartered out of North Carolina. That may not even work. And there are so many. There are over 25 locations throughout the state of North Carolina. Now, South Carolina, they're starting to now grow us in this area. And Greenville is its newest baby, so we're the smallest, the smallest location, but we are growing rapidly there. So just getting out there, getting my face out in the community is really, really doing a lot towards growing our program. What does Access do? We work with a lot of individuals and families. We provide individual, family, and we are now starting to work on providing some group counseling options. So we're working on that. We work primarily with children and families, but we have also opened up a component for adults and marriage and family issues as well. I heard someone ask about autism. We I have a large autistic population of children that I work with. Primarily those children are fed into our system through developmental pediatrics. And because in South Carolina, and it may be this way in lots of other locations as well, but I know that in South Carolina, ABA services are very scarce. They're very, very scarce, for a variety of reasons. Everybody has their theories, but it's very, very scarce. And the ABA services that are available, the waiting lists are so very long. So a typical phone call that I will get, in fact, I can tell you about one in particular. I had a mom who called, and she was in tears, and she was like, I am tired. I've had enough. We have a very wonderful autism society here in South Carolina. You know, they just can't do it all. I mean, they really are awesome in trying to pair parents up with services that can be beneficial to them and their children. But again, ABA services are just so very scarce. And so this mom called, she was in tears, and she says, you know, I'm just very, very tired. I have had my child on various waiting lists. I've been waiting, I've been patient, and nothing is coming through. Can you guys help? And one of the ways that that's one of the ways that we moved into working with the autistic population of children here in Greenville. We just created a system of kind of standing in the gap between ABA, while a lot of parents are on, their children are on the waiting list and they're awaiting services. They are still in need of some things that can kind of help out with social skills and helping their children to be able to acclimate to school environment and different things that they are encountering. And so we at Access, what we do is we tell parents right off the bat, and a lot of our collaborative partners, community partners as well, we are not ABA, so we don't provide ABA services. But what I do provide is family support. And I also do an enormous amount of social skills training with my autistic friends. So we do a lot of red light, green light, yellow light people, understanding body language, understanding to pick up on social cues. So working with children and teenagers, I have quite a few from we work with children from 2 years old all the way up until, I guess, again, through the teenage years. I also have one autistic adult client who we do a lot of meeting out in the community. So I'll meet with him, we'll have lunch, and we'll work on understanding social cues, we'll work on ordering from the menu, we'll work on doing different things of that nature. So we just really try to stand in the gap and provide a different type of service model that can help to meet the needs of a lot of individuals here in South Carolina. I did mention, this is what Winging It looks like, guys. So, we work So, of course, we do provide individual and family therapy sessions. I mentioned that we're in the process of creating some social skills group, because I get a lot of parents who come in with their children, particularly my autistic friends. They say, listen, is there a way to get my child together with other children who are dealing with similar social skills needs? So what we are, as you know, we're in South Carolina, so sometimes that can be in terms of trying to figure out what that reimbursement will look like. But we think we're very, very close. So we are in the process of trying to create some social skills groups so that parents can bring their children in, and we can work on them being able to interact with each other. We're going to work on picking up on social cues. We're going to work on being able to just deal with a variety of the issues that they may be dealing with. Let's see what else. What sort of issues do we at Access Family Services address? We address a lot of, again, working with 2-year-olds. We have a partnership with the Head Start centers here in Greenville, South Carolina. And so I do a lot of going into the Head Start centers, and I'm on the floor a lot, so we're doing a lot of behavioral interventions, behavioral issues with those children. So what that would typically look like is the teacher would identify that their child is having some issues, social skills issues. They're having some issues acclimating to the classroom, acclimating to structure. So the disability specialist would go in, do a observation, and then they would call us in. I would come in, I would observe the child as well, and then sit down with the parents and help them understand how we could help them to address these behavioral issues that the child is dealing with. And then subsequently, we go through the intake and assessment process, and then I would begin going 1 to 2 times per week to that Head Start center to spend time with that child individually, but also helping them to acclimate and learn how to collaborative play and those types of things. So that has been a very successful partnership working with Head Start centers here in South Carolina. We also have a really, really successful partnership with Developmental Pediatrics, Dr. Cancellero's office. That's where the bulk of our autistic clients come from. It's 2 days per week. We also provide after-hour services. So another thing that makes us a bit unique is I will see clients from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. So our service provision model affords us the opportunity to see clients not only in the office, but I will also go out to have service provision in the community, but also in the home. So we provide in-home services as well. Now that is dependent on how far away the client is and whether or not I have a significant amount of clients in that area. So for example, we just got a referral for a client in Anderson. Well, Anderson is an hour away from here. So I'll work out something with that parent in order to be able to, maybe I'll go to you for one session in the month, and then they can come up to our office in order for us to provide additional services. Should we be able to develop that area more, and maybe I get 2 to 3 more clients, then I can create a bit more service provision in that area. So I just say that I think it's important to include that piece when I'm talking to groups, because people will often ask, what counties do you serve? Well, we serve Pickens County, and we serve Greenville County, we serve Spartanburg County, we serve Anderson County, but I would have to have enough individuals in Anderson County in order for it to make it feasible for us to work that area and serve that demographic. But we are willing to serve easily in all those surrounding areas, Oconee County as well. Let's see, what else? Do you have any questions? Oh, referral process. Referral process generally it's going to come from, we do self-referral, so individuals often call around and get, again, calls from parents sometimes saying, hey, listen, I was reading about you on the website or something, and can you tell me a little bit more about your organization? So, but a lot of our referrals will come from medical facilities, medical offices, again, developmental peds, Head Start centers. We have gotten one referral also from Department of Juvenile Justice. So we are starting to develop that area, as that demographic as well. One thing that I think makes Access very unique as well is how they pull in their therapists, how they look at hiring their therapists, what type of skill sets they're looking for. For example, they develop me, they pull me, I'm a Greenville native, okay, but worked with the military for so long, married a Georgia boy who I had to go 9,000 miles away to meet on the island of Guam. I don't know if you guys know what Guam is. Yeah, so my son and my husband, they live out there on Guam.
Wow.
And so, but because I had that unique military experience, I also a little over 7 years working as a service coordinator with disability and special needs. So I had that special needs experience. So they are, they're really, really, they're an awesome organization who really puts a lot of stock and puts a lot of time and effort into trying to pull in individuals with unique skill sets who will be able to successfully meet the needs of the demographics that we are targeting and who seek us out as well. We do a lot of grief and loss, a lot of anxiety work. Again, we work heavily with autistic population, and we do work again with my military experience. We work with the military population too, so that being able to kind of connect with those parents, having lived that experience myself, it makes a difference. Understanding deployments and understanding PCSing and having to constantly move and have your lives disrupted. It's not only hard on the service member, it's hard on the families, particularly hard on the children, having to make those connections over and over and over again. So we do a lot and work with a lot of different demographics, address a lot of different types of needs for the community. I'm sure I'll think of something else, but if you have any questions, please.
And so funding and all that kind of stuff, how does that work with you?
We accept all insurances except for Aetna. Aetna is the only insurance, only HMO that we're not able to accept. So.
Medicaid included?
Yes.
Medicaid
Medicaid included.
Medicare?
Nope, not Medicare. Not Medicare. You know, the House, we're lobbying for that right now. But we're not quite there, unfortunately. Yes.
And do y'all have a website?
We do.
And
accessfamilyservices.com. And you'll click on it from under locations and you'll see our Greenville location.
So individuals have to have insurance to receive services?
No, we also have a self-pay option. We have a sliding fee scale for individuals who don't have any insurance. We try not to turn anybody away as well. We think that's very important. So it's really nice to hear you guys say that as well. So we look at income and we can offer them an option based on their income. Yes.
I have a couple of things to say about community connection. There's a upstate theater group for autistic adults. It's called Spectrum Theater. It helps adults with the social situations in a theater atmosphere.
Thank you.
And myself, this January I started as a co-leader of an adult social group for. I'm autistic, and I help lead a social group of other autistic adults.
Wonderful.
And we have we're located on meetup.com
Mhm.
under Jennifer Ferguson and Jill Jones.
Okay. And Jill Jones?
Yes,
Wonderful.
that's my therapist. She's a wonderful, wonderful therapist. She works with the spectrum from adult to children
Awesome.
and vice versa.
Okay, thank you. I love a good resource. So I'm always building resources, so thank you so much for sharing those with me. Yes. Any more questions?
Well, since I'm from Social Security Disability, a lot of our applicants, I don't know if you may have worked with them or not, do you actually keep any type of therapy notes or records that we can request that we can then use to make decisions on our disability applicants?
Well, we have electronic records, but you're certainly at liberty to request records, certainly. We really try to, that's been something that's been very important with our community and our collaborative partners, being able to have something to be able to sort of monitor progress of individuals that they've been referring to us. So that is the options available. Any more questions?
You mentioned getting referrals from doctors. Do you take self-referrals?
Do.
Okay, I might have missed that, just want to be sure.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you go to all the Head Starts in Greenville County, or are there just certain, is it kind of like what you're saying, where you need to have more than one client at that location to
Well,
serve it?
because Greenville County, they're sort of clustered very closely together. I can have one at this one at that one, that would be fine. But when you start moving on out to like Golden Strip down in Simpsonville, and then Belton Honeyett Path, and then Simpson down in Anderson. Yeah, at that point I need to have at least 3 or 4. But yeah, I hop around to quite a few Head Start centers.
Any more questions?
Any questions?
Well, let's give you a big old round of
Thank you so
applause.
much. I mean, look at this.